Hey everybody, Shadowlands back with another video. Today I've got something. It's not good news. It's just kind of funny and almost hypocritical, and I don't even know why we expected something better. But you know what? We're gonna go over the stuff for Valentine's Day and combat arms. We're gonna look at both classic and reloaded, and oh boy, this is gonna be quite the flame war. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We've already got some crazy discrepancies, but combat arms classic got this patch update on the 11th of February. Whereas it doesn't seem like Reloaded got this until pretty much today. So that's kind of a last minute sort of deal. And what's hilarious is that the prices for certain things are different depending on the game you're playing on. Gee, it's almost like they want you to play Reloaded and not Classic. Let's get into this a little bit more though. So Valentine's Day, we've got these limited items called the Sweet Valentine's Mist Crates. That's not too original, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at it anyway. You can grab yourself an AK-47, an AUG-A3, some kind of day bomb, you have a police baton, and a TPG-1 Pro in the Valentine skins, which is kind of interesting, but to be honest, none of those weapons are that great except the TPG-1 Pro. The AK-47 is an interesting CS throwback, but it's not going to be super useful, and AUG-A3, well, you can grab better things. I like playing with it, but anyway, we're looking at a GC price of $18, so that's 1,800 GC. That's kind of dog shit if you ask me, because then if you go over to Reloaded and see the exact same case that came out 3 days later, we're taking a look at $5, 499 GC. However, it looks like you can also buy them for GP, so that's their way of being a little more generous to the Reloaded players, even though there's quite a few of us that like playing on Classic, so nudge nudge. Okay, I'm not too thrilled about that, and I'm not going to try to, stray on that for too long. Let's also take a look at this Bloody Hunter limited items. This is also kind of a weird push. This actually almost seems like the reverse deal, where they're kind of removing it from Reloaded early, where it's been removed from the cash shop now, and now it's being put into the classic game. So we already had run 1 of it, and now we've got run 2. This one you only have to spend a whopping $16 on instead of $17 or $18. And we're looking at the AUG-A1 instead of the A3, the MP5 SD6, which is the silenced version of it, the Tango 51, which is obviously a respectable weapon, the Tracker Knife, the USP Tactical, and the Mask Guitar. So I'm not really sure if those are things people think are typically worth it, but judging from the number of spelling mistakes on the website, it can't be something they put too much thought into. Given that they can't even keep their prices lined up between the two games, why would we expect the spelling to be any better? But taking a looking at this, at least you have better items in the Bloody Hunter that's now come to Classic than the Valentine stuff. So, honestly, the AUG-A1 is not an unusable weapon. I actually prefer it to the G36, but I'm kind of a weirdo. The MP5 SD6 is totally usable. I like that it comes with a built-in scope and suppressor, so you're not seeing any extra damage loss by sticking on a silencer, and usually those low-damage weapons you're better off sticking a silencer on anyway, because the slightly lower damage is not really going to help or hurt anything. The Tracker Knife, on the other hand, is obviously a very strong melee weapon, and any of us who don't have some of the better weapons like the Tiger Strider for permanent and coming back to the game early enough, the Tracker Knife is an excellent addition to your inventory. Tango 51 is just all around an excellent sniper, definitely one of the top 5 in the game in my opinion. However, given that you can get an equivalently good one just for spending GP, or in-game cash, I don't really see why most people would want to go and purchase it unless you really, really love the Tango and you want to run dual Tangos. Obviously, that's a possibility, so it's up there. However, you're not guaranteed to get any of these for permanent. You have a pretty good chance of getting it for 30 days instead of permanent, so you want to drop $16 on getting a 30-day weapon? Be my guest. It's not my personal first thing to jump at, and I would never recommend the average person to go and spend on this, but if you do have the cash to blow, I would highly recommend the Bloody Hunter Limited over the Valentines. I can't get over the Valentines. It's such an awful deal. Like, it's laughable. They're actually charging more than the Bloody Hunter, which is better. And, yeah, the only decent weapon out of there is the TPG-1 Pro, which most people have by now. The rest of the weapons are either meh or dog shit, so that's a thing. The Bloody Hunter, the only things that are really not great to get out of it would be like the Mask Guitar and arguably the MP5 SD6 if no one's too interested in that. The USB Tactical is just a good weapon in general, and the Tracker Knife is fantastic, the Tango is fantastic, and personally I think the AUG-A1 is quite good, but that's my personal opinion. No shameless plug there, but anyway. Then we're also going to take a look at the attendance event going on in each game, because this is kind of another discrepancy that I've noticed, and it's a little bit laughable. So we're looking at Classic, and basically the lineup is from February 11th until February 28th. We have dog shit, dog shit, dog shit, dog shit, and you can kind of see the trend here. On Valentine's Day, you get a Mist Weapon 3. Ooh. That's all you get, though. And then most other times, you just get a duration of 1 day for various things. On President's Day, you'll get an American Eagle for 7 days, so they're splurging a little bit right there. But don't look forward to anything on this list. Nothing is going to make or break your inventory here. And to end all of it, on the last day of February, on the 28th, you get, drumroll please, a respawn token. Aren't they generous? Let's go take a look at the Valentine stuff that they're giving out for the roll call event over in Reloaded. This actually starts on the 14th, not on the 11th, so they actually are getting this a little bit later. The weapons here are a little bit better, but they're all still for 1 day. Here we actually see some things. This actually you can almost forgive because obviously in Reloaded people have better weapons, better gear, all this stuff. So you need to give out slightly better things in order to help newer players compete, because obviously it's the newer players that are going to be appreciating these more than the veteran players. But we're looking at a Nemexis F2000, which is one of my favorite weapons in the entire game, despite what everyone says about it being awful. I love it. The Precision 1 AR, which is a mod, and they're basically jumping off between weapons and mods. We're looking at Thompsons, Tri-Shot, Holosites. S58 is actually a fantastic sniper rifle, very consistent one-shot kill. You get an S3 suppressor for a sniper rifle, which I think is personally kind of useless. Then you get some more useless stuff like Assault Vest, Anti-Flash 2, which is another mod. And you have hockey masks, increased stamina. Nothing too much else here that's super great. There's some cosmetic stuff thrown in there as well. You get a double barrel Punisher on one of those days. Those are always fun to play around with. But on the very last day, you get a supply crate, advanced weapon mystery box. That is a mouthful. Either way, it looks like for the most part, Reloaded is being heavily favored in this event despite starting 3 days later. The roll call event is certainly better. It is, at least some things are usable as opposed to being complete and utter horse crap. But the Valentines on both is pretty bad. If you are looking into getting any of the Valentine's weapons for permanent, which quite frankly, I don't think this is a great time to be doing that anyway, it is quite a bit cheaper on Reloaded, looking at only $5 versus literally more than triple the price. I will remind you at $18 for the Valentine's event on Classic. Now, obviously, I think there's some balancing issues that went into this, so I can understand it being slightly more expensive to get a hold of these weapons in a game where people don't have all these permanents, but marking it up by almost 4 times the price, I think VALOFE needs a little bit of reining in, and I cannot wait to see how the community reacts to this. But either way, don't get too excited about this Valentine's Day because VALOFE is not trying to be your Valentine. Thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadowlance out.